Oh, I forgot to share my screen. Okay, let's get started. Welcome everyone to this week's transaction runtime sync. Let's start with getting update from everyone. We'll start with Igor. Yeah.
So, yes, the NIDAC tests were fixed, at least like then in a much better state now.
Okay.
There was a problem that actually NIDAC tests, like non-Rust NIDAC tests were not run with features actually. And
okay,
this
yes.
is fixed now. Yeah. As for account recalculation, introduced pull request, but apparently it would be too slow to run on the mainnet because for big accounts, iterating through whole state of that account is really slow. So we decided to switch to another approach because the delta of current storage usage and correct storage usage is actually constant for accounts. We fixed the bug already that was over subtracting storage when deleting keys. We can calculate this from state dump and then just update each storage usage using the delta when we touch this account first time in the future. So I would work on this. Yeah, and I started to look at how our state storage is implemented, but hadn't finished yet. So I will continue this as well.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, Alex, can you give us an update as well?
Yes, sure. So the PR related to the setting transaction size limit is merged. And currently I am working on the new feature about allowing creating implicit account on deleting account, meaning that we can set beneficiary ID as non-existent account, and thus it will be created instead of buying tokens, which maybe not what we want. And currently I'm looking into the change of gas fees, because now we also have to take care about fee for creating account, and this is the part I currently don't understand, but I plan to finish it and create a new PR.
Yeah, you said something about the cost that you didn't understand, right? Maybe you can talk.
Yes.
Further?
So yes. So at first, don't said correctly that it's possible that account A can delete account B.
Account A can read, but that's not a well-defined statement. Like, can you elaborate on what that means?
Yep. So I mean, like the account can delete itself, but it also can be.
It's like, what do you mean by account can read itself? Like,
delete. Account can delete itself.
Yeah. Account cannot delete another account. Yes, that is correct.
Cannot, but I've heard that if I have access key to the other account, I can delete it as well.
But then you have that then like you own that account. Yeah.
That makes sense. So okay, like I can have like my own account deleting another account, and I'm not sure.
Well, okay. So I think there's a confusion of maybe concepts or terminology. So like if you have a key to some account, then you can delete the account from the account, not from any other account. So like it's not we're matching keys to. It's not we're only matching keys to the account public keys. We're also checking whether it's coming from the same account. So even if, let's say, two accounts share the same key, you still, if you want to delete one of them, you still need to send a transaction from that account, not from the other account, even though they share the same key.
Well, okay. So it means that like the delete account transaction should be sent like from the same account anyway.
Yes.
Like okay, I see. Well, then like the behavior I observed, like when I changed the functionality, I expected the balance checker to fail when I delete an account and transfer funds to another account, but it actually didn't. Like it worked like all gas fees are computed correctly, and like I currently don't understand why.
Wait, sorry, I'm maybe confused. So what do you think would fail?
So yeah, initially I thought that like I need like in the case where account is created, I have to like charge more fee like from somebody from the other account which could delete like from the account A which deleted account B and so on. But that now I think that like if they are the same accounts, then like everything is okay. So it shouldn't change anything. So and there is like my kind of confusion. Like I have some logic like that I should change the fee, and another logic says that I shouldn't.
Well, I still don't understand why you think it would fail. Like, what exactly do you think would fail?
So it's hard to say. I can just tell that like the task was initially formulated like to me that like I should change some gas fees, but and I initially had some understanding behind this, but currently I don't. Maybe I can.
My point is that that is not in conflict with what you observe right now. So like, yeah, that's why I'm asking, what exactly do you think would fail, right? So we're trying to understand like where our understandings differ. Like, in which step, or like, or I don't even fully understand. Are you talking about it was failing some test, or talking about that the code would panic?
I would expect the balance checker to panic.
Balance check to panic. Why?
So it's like this that okay, what I thought about like there is a code for fee calculation for transfer and for delete account too, and currently the fee for I don't remember the exact part of code, but maybe it's config rs. So there we see the fee for delete account, like it's it's like a simple number and number from the config. So, and that's how it worked before, because delete account generated only the refund, but now it also generates a transfer. So should I? So I expected that I should change something in this case.
So let me ask you this question. Forget about this account deletion for now. Do you think anything would fail if we change any arbitrary fee in the config to a different number?
So I guess not. Like it's because like we.
Yeah. Then what's the reason that you think anything would fail if you change the fee regarding account deletion?
Okay, from my point of view, there are no reasons for this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then sounds good. Let's wait. No, it seems like we can proceed.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. I will also double check this with Eugen, because maybe I misunderstood him.
Sure. Yeah, I think Eugen is not with us here. Okay. Yeah, I just want to give an update on. I think I fixed some tests. So yeah, thanks to Igor, we realized that the Rust expensive tests are not run with native features on NADAC. So I fixed some Rust expensive test that failed because of the access key nonce change. And then they work now. So yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I think there are a couple of things I want to. Well, there are some things related to transaction runtime I wanted to discuss, but yeah, let's first see whether anyone here wants to discuss anything.
Well, maybe I have some idea regarding upgrading data structures within accounts, like we are, I think, still trying to having some difficulty with a particular way of recalculating storage and upgrading account data structures. So I've thought of some possible approaches to do that, not just for this particular case, but in general. Suppose that we want to calculate something new about all accounts and store it in the account data structure, for example. So there are different approaches. So with the current approach, I think we had some trouble with determining account version, and now also with calculating actual correct storage. So I have this general possible way of upgrading any state information. Basically, we have two states, old state and new state. Previously, I've thought of approach when both old and new state like hold the same state, but possibly in different format. But now I thought of also think of a different approach when old state holds part of a state and the new state holds parts of a state, and so that they together constitute the entire state. So basically, when you can upgrade some parts, the state part by moving values from old state to new state. So deleting them from the old state and at the same time adding them to the new state. So how that good. So the overall approach is as follows. So you create a new state which is initially empty. During the migration period, you have both old state root and the new state root. And then from time to time, for example, every block, you take some number of state elements and move it to the new state. So for example, you want to compute storage usage and suppose that current storage usage is wrong, so you can't use it at all. Then how do you do it? You move elements one by one, where elements are individual storage entries, not accounts, because a single account can have a lot of storage entries. So moving all of them at once can be too expensive. And while you move them, you also compute in the new state, you compute storage, but you only account for storage in the new state. So in the new state, you only count storage used by entries that are in the new state. And in the old state, for example, you can also count storage usage by entries in the old state. But if we assume that this storage usage is not correct, then it's not that important. Anyway, once everything is moved to the new state, you have a properly calculated storage usage in the new state. So once everything is moved, you can just remove all state root, and now everything uses the new state. And you can do any sort of upgrade this way. So for example, if you change a structure layout, like add new fields or something, you can do this change during such upgrade. So once you move this structure, you also upgrade it. And any kind of upgrade can be performed this way. So this kind of general. Also, unlike having version data structure, so what's one of the problem with having version data structure like account structure is that no matter how much time passes, you may still have old structures somewhere if they were never touched. And with this upgrade procedure, once upgrade is done, you can be sure that there is no old version left anywhere in the current state. So you can, even if in the future, once we separate code for processing old blocks from like current blocks, we can even delete the code for parsing these old structures.
It's a really neat idea. I like it.
Yeah, it's
so basically, if I can reformulate, basically each account becomes kind of two sub accounts, some with old data, some like old sub account, and a new sub account which is already migrated. And you do some.
So there are possibilities. An account may be completely old, so only represented in the old structure, completely new, or in the process of migration. Because, as I said, if account has a lot of storage entries, you may not be able to migrate it all at once. It would be too much work for a single block.
Let's just
there is a
name
possibility of partially migrating account, and then all APIs, like for accessing storage and accessing account data and modifying it, should look at both old and new storage and act accordingly.
But how do you do? I guess you can still do proofs. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, basically each account is now two accounts.
Yeah.
Up to two accounts is one account.
Yes, up to two accounts. So usually I think at most one account will be in the process of migration, but still this case should be properly handled, of course.
Yes, that's very a nice idea, and we would not have a lot of like. Suppose we, with the current approach, we can have like account version 10 at some point of in the future, and we will have actually some accounts on version 1, sub accounts on version 2, and so on. And yeah, if we can use this like free if we can have some kind of sometime some gas reserves on each block for migration purposes. We probably
Well, but you
We can just explicitly allocate, like, say, we can migrate like 100 storage entries per block in addition to any gas. So we don't
something
need
like this.
to subtract this from any other gas allocation. We just have a new allocation specifically for this.
Oh, I see. So you want to do it in the same thread. Okay, I guess that makes things easier.
Yeah. That's a very nifty idea.
Yeah. The only thing is that we cannot do. We need to wait for one to finish before we push another protocol change that will change the state. But I suppose that's not a problem.
Not necessarily, actually.
We probably want to really finish one migration before starting the next one, because otherwise, what do we have? 3 states? It's too complicated, and
yes,
we don't really need it.
But, I don't think any migration would take more than one day, really. At least at the current size.
Yeah, but the problem is the state would grow, right? And the state entries, there can be a lot of them potentially in the future. So.
Yes, but I hope by the time
if we have sharding, we can each shard will migrate on its own in parallel, so this should be faster than just one shard. So bigger state, but so faster migration as well.
Also, I think protocol would be much more stable by the time we are that big. I really like this idea. So maybe we can have separate meeting to discuss it and maybe then set to implementing it. I don't know, because on the other hand, we can it's not necessary to do it right now, but it's a very good idea for the future for sure.
Well, I mean, it definitely requires some effort, right? And it's probably not. I mean, we need to make sure that all the reading and like state serving would still work properly, and and you need a new state. Yeah, actually, if that would change bridge in some way, right? Like for example, you need to change block header inner right, I suppose.
Well, if a bridge uses the state, then yes, but current version doesn't use the state. Well, it still depends on block header inner light because it uses to get the receipts route. But in general, any protocol change can potentially result in having to change the bridge.
Well, I mean, I think we're actively avoiding protocol changes that will change the bridge, right? Because that's kind of suboptimal. Yeah, but also like bridge, they do plan to have state proofs, right? I suppose.
Yes, but then any changes to state format can potentially result in changing, and we want to have some in the future anyway.
I think anything that will make much less legacy code is a good thing. So I really like this idea.
Yeah, I mean, definitely sounds like a good idea. It's just that the implementation probably takes some time. Yeah, we can discuss more of this. Doesn't seem like to me it's a very urgent thing, and
that's true.
Okay, maybe we can take a few minutes break before the next meeting.